Welcome back, y'all. It is Tuesday and it is finally time for another tank review. So today we're going to be unboxing and checking out the Top Fin Revival. I have gotten a ton of requests to check out this tank. I'm actually pretty excited because this is kind of a similar tank to the Fluval Chi, which I had a Fluval Chi for a really long time. I really liked that tank. It's really pretty. It was really nice. So I'm hoping that this one will be just as good and will last me as long as that one did. That one would have probably lasted me longer, but I did have an accident where I did crack the side of the tank. So without further ado, let's check out what we get with this kit. So first we're gonna check out and see what all is supposed to come with this kit. We're supposed to get the 5-gallon glass tank with the Waterfall Feature and 2 Top Fin element filter cartridges, the bright white LED fixture, along with the removable plastic lid. So let's open it up and check it all out. This is always the hardest part because I try not to break the box when I'm opening it. Okay, so we've got our handy dandy little instruction manual, more instruction stuff. This guy here, and if I can get it out. Our glass tank. This sucker is a little bit heavier than I would have expected. I mean, it's not heavy, but it's heavier than I expected. So we're gonna put this aside and open this guy up. Oh, lots and lots of pieces. Okay, so here we have our Waterfall Feature. Like, dig that out first. All our little plugs. Water pump. See, is this one adjustable? I am not seeing a way to adjust this pump. Hopefully there is one, but we'll just see how strong the flow is when I plug it all in. Add water. Got our filter cartridges. Get those out. And those just slide right back in. Slide those right back in. More plugs. Looks like this is our light plug. Filter pieces and our little plastic lid. So I'll go ahead and put that on the tank. And it looks like it does have a little feeder hole, so that's nice. Okay, so putting this thing together. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and untwist this cord, take off this little twisty tie. Well, I'm not gonna have enough cord. So we are going to be putting our little water pump in here with the top going down. Then we're gonna attach our little tube. Oops, and my filters are falling out while doing this. And our intake. Our little inlet. Put our filter cartridge back in. Stick this sucker right on the back. Now there is a little bit more of a gap around here than I would have loved, but not bad. It's mostly sealed off, but there is a little bit of a gap here, but that's where the waterfall is going to be hitting. So if you have a fish or something in here, I would hope that it might not get out of those little gaps. But I have in the past had accidents where fish even escape through tiny little feeder holes. So it's always possible. There's always a problem, there's always a risk. So this water pump cord just hooks under this. There's a little hook to hold it in place. This is another one of those kind of weird designs where my cords are black, the tank is white. That is a little annoying for my OCD, but it is what it is. It's still kind of a really nice tank. Now this is a more expensive tank. This is a $70 tank sold by PetSmart. I would watch for sales. I mean, PetSmart has a ton of sales, especially on their fish tanks. I'm sure that there's gonna be a time where you could get this for like half price, like $35 or something like that. Right now, it is not on sale in my store or online currently, but that doesn't mean that there won't be maybe after Christmas sales or something like that where you could get this for much cheaper. So now I'm gonna go ahead and unclip this, plug that sucker in. I always save my little twist ties so that way once I set up the tank, I can kind of twist them together so that the cords are not as in my way. Especially with me, I keep a lot of fish tanks out on my kitchen counters. So these little twist ties really help me with cord control. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the lights and see how well those light up. Plug that in. That looks like a pretty nice light. It's always so much harder to see on camera, but the light doesn't look too bad. It looks relatively bright. I am gonna be keeping probably some lower light level plants. I'm probably gonna keep some moss and stuff like that in here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with water real quick, and we are gonna test out this filter. Okay, so this is just my initial review. I did not put dechlorinator or anything. This is not set up for anything other than just sort of testing it, making sure that the filter is not crazy loud or anything to where I would want to return this tank before I start actually aquascaping it or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and let's see. Okay, it's just priming right now. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, it's just a nice, relaxing little trickle like a waterfall should sound like. I'm not hearing too much noise from the filter. I think we are good here. So far, I wouldn't say that this is too bad of a tank setup. I like the look of it. I like this style of a tank, and it is a 5-gallon tank, so you could do like a Betta or something like that in here. Doesn't look like it's too strong of a flow. That flow should calm down a little bit. So that is one drawback. I do not see a way to reduce the flow on this. You could add some sponges right in here, which would help kind of decrease that flow, kind of baffle it a little bit if you added some sponge in here, if you needed to slow it down for a Betta. Other than that, I would say it's a pretty decent little tank. So far, from what I'm seeing, I don't know that I would recommend paying $70 for it, but it is pretty, and it does seem like it might end up being a pretty nice tank for a Betta. But as I said, right now, it is a $70 tank. It's not on sale currently, but that does not mean anything for, say, next week or the week after. PetSmart does have a lot of sales. I'd recommend getting this whenever it is on sale and not paying $70, not paying necessarily full price for it. Having said all that, probably sometime either next week or the week after, I will be scaping this tank out, and a few weeks after that, I will probably give a more in-depth review of what I think about this, and once I actually add either fish or frogs or something living in here. So anyway, guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!